Looking at Bitcoin against the US dollar, it is December 3rd. Missed yesterday's update, but not to fear. It was a good day. It was up on the upside. This is the new candle. It's a little over about an hour and 45 minutes into the new day. And we're seeing a red inside candle. If we look at this yellow line here, if you remember in the previous video, this is where we had placed our support line, because we looked back to the left and saw that it was a point of resistance, and when we were doing the video we were down in this area here. We knew that it was going to come back and test it, and it did climb over it, and then the next following day had started out going down, and it probably scared a few people, and possibly, we'll go here and change this out so it's clear to see, possibly had some people selling off, scared to death after they started seeing a little plunge there, but it was nothing. And then back up to the top, and then here we are today. We just started again. It's on the inside, but we're seeing ourselves back in the saddle here of heading back up again. Unless this tanks down, and it has to test this at 19,164. That has to be tested. Once that's violated, we can again start looking at areas around 18,768 if that's the case. But looking at our monthly, actually let's look at the week. Okay, here we go. The yellow was our support, resistance was at the top, that was our weekly, and that's the yellow line you saw on the daily. That was our support, and then our possible resistance level. And let's go back down to the month and look at the big picture. As I always tell you guys, look at the big picture and see what's really happening. We saw the dip, and we saw a rise up, and we're seeing a little pullback here, but see exactly where this thing started pulling back at, right at the resistance. The point of resistance was the previous month's high. That's where we hit our high at 19,856, in that ballpark. And that's where he tested it and did not manage to go across it. The bulls didn't have enough power to go across, so the bears came in and pushed it down, and then we got it back up. The bulls back into play above support, as we see here on the daily. Again, look at everything in play, everything that's going on, big picture, and then start going down smaller. Okay, right now, again, we said we have an inside day. What does inside day mean? When we say inside day, that is the candle has not crossed the previous candle's high or crossed the low. That's inside. This is a rule of thumb that you must understand, and you must keep it with you, that an inside candle is nothing but choppiness. If we go to, let's just say like the 30-minute, for example, I mean, this is what you see when you're on an inside candle. This is what you're going to see, up and down, up and down, up and down, just choppy, choppy, choppy. Can you get in and out here real quick on these three candles? You possibly could, but the risk is too high because the next three went down, then up, and then down again. Inside candle, make it a rule of thumb in your trading not to trade on an inside day because it's just too choppy. Unless it breaks out up or breaks down, then you know which direction it's going in. Then you can properly get in and properly get your trade on the right track, instead of guessing, thinking, okay, well, I got a red one here, it's going to go down, it's going to tank, and then you never know, then it goes up, and it might test the resistance here of this previous day's high, and it might go past it, or it might not, or it'll come back. It won't have enough strength to get across, won't have enough bulls pushing across, and then it'll go down. So again, you don't know what's happening. See, it just ticked up. So you're going to see this up and down action, up and down action. That's the inside. That's the rule of thumb, that something you're going to have to keep in your toolbox, your trading toolbox. That the inside days are scary and they're very choppy. Same thing goes if you look at the bigger time frames, same thing. If it's an inside month or an inside week, you want to be very careful when you're doing your trading. You want to go down to the hourly, same thing. If it's an inside hour, let's see, like this one here, what did you have? You had it down, or you had it up, you had it down, you had it up again. It's just up and down, up and down. It's very hard to trade on a day are a candle that's on the inside. So always wait for the break up or the break down. So that's today what we see here. Probably going to see a continuation of the upward movement here. We don't have anything that shows us that there's a reverse or there's going to be a tank or anything of Bitcoin happening. Steady as she goes. Looking back at the monthly again. Yes, it's red, but it did top here and it's moving up, so it's looking like a hammer type candle, if you want to call it that. And everything's looking okay, so don't worry. I wouldn't get in just yet. I just kind of watch and see what happens. If you're in, hang on. Don't worry about it. We're only going to be going up. Long term, we're looking good. You're going to short this thing or day trade it or whatever. I suggest don't do it on an inside day. You're going to have to look at time frame continuity, what I've spoken about, which, again, we look here. What do we have on the month? A red. Excuse me. A red to the upside. On the week, we have a green to the upside. So we got two upsides, and then the day, we don't have an upside day. We have an inside day. So that right there blows out your day trading because it's an inside, and you don't have time frame continuity. If your monthly, weekly, and daily were all green or all red, and then you're looking at the hourly, then you're looking at the half hour, and they're all green, they're all going in the same direction, then by all means, that's your signal. Go. But if something's not right in that, if there's no continuity, then you're going to get chopped up. So it's best just to sit on your hands and go away or mow the lawn or do whatever you do just to get away from your screen. Do what you got to do instead of getting in and forcing a trade, because you can't force a trade. You got to wait for the trade to come to you. That's hard, but that's part of the whole managing your assets, managing your finances, and managing your emotions. You're not going to make anything happen. You've got to react on what is happening. You can't force anything unless you're a quadrillion billionaire or whatever you want to call it, that you can buy so many, you can manipulate it, but you don't. So what you want to do is just manage your risk, keep your emotions in check, and by the only way of doing that is just knowing what's going on. And you got to know what's going on by price action. You don't see any other indicators on this screen. This is all I use. I had every indicator up when I was trading years ago, and I failed because I didn't have there was no time frame continuity when I was looking at all the indicators. Every time frame was completely different. So it never worked until I got stumbled across the strat with Rob Smith and started learning a price action. My trading has improved greatly. I see what's happening. I get an idea of what's going to happen. It's not 100%, but price action, you need to know what's happening right now. That's exactly what the strat is. So I suggest that you go over and look at Rob Smith in the Black. Look at his YouTube channel. All this stuff is free. Go ahead and just start digging and learning and start understanding what he's teaching, because it works. Those of us that are using it realize that this works. He's made it so simple, and it's real simple. You see what's happening, and you see the formulations of the candles, and you see the formations, and you start seeing the price action. You start seeing things, and you can start kind of seeing how the stock market reacts. And that's what you need to know. You need to know exactly what's going on with the other traders, what they're seeing or what they're thinking, especially like if there's a little pullback and then you see the next candle going drastic, everybody's freaking out, panicking, and selling out. So it's that kind of thing. It's just kind of getting an idea of what's happening on the market. All right, so continue trading. Good luck. Best of luck to y'all, and we'll talk to you next time.